Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Hi.
Yep.
Yeah. Are we okay? Sorry about that. Yeah. It's okay. Thanks, guys. And gals and friends beyond the binary. Thank you so much. Yeah. We wondered. We'll see. We'll see. I think we're gonna be okay because we're gonna use Hannah on a different channel. Okay. And by channel we mean Zoom. All right. So Hannah, are you there? We're gonna get her back. And while we get Hannah back, Steph's working on it. Thank you, Stephanie. I just thought I would show you while we're here hey Dee Marie, hey Victorious, Eva. Good. Thank you for the YouTube update. While we're just kind of all getting back and like doing the thing that we have to do sometimes with the internet, this quilt we've seen before. We have seen this, it was a long time ago, but the first time I ever saw this quilt was when I was looking through the Denver Art Museum's quilt holdings. If you go to the Denver Art Museum and search quilt, you'll see what they've got, at least what they have online. And the Matterhorn quilt is at the Denver Art Museum. It's in their permanent collection. And this quilt was made by Myrtle Melvins Fortner. It's called Matterhorn. It was made in 1934. It's 95 by 105. And I mean, this quilt is bananas, it's really something. And it actually, the second time I ever saw it, it was in the 20th Century's Best American Quilts, that we've talked about it a lot, that the 100 best quilts of the 20th century or something done in 1999 with a sort of a consortium of like quilt experts and it'll come up again and again on Quilt Nerd because it was really an interesting project. And so the Matterhorn quilt was considered one of the best quilts of the 20th century, one of the 100 best by that through that project. So I saw it again there. But I remember seeing it for the first time when I was looking at the Denver Art Museum archives or in their collection. And I've never seen a quilt like this. This quilt is crazy. And I guess it could be considered a cross-stitch quilt, right? Hey, Faux Vintage. We got a quilt by you coming up here in just a minute. And Faux Vintage says, yeah, Bob Ross vibes in the pixel quilting. I love it. It really is Bob Rossian, right? Cake, I can see you. You're good. Is Hannah back in the Zoom?
Supposedly.
Yeah, you are. I can hear you. This is great. Okay, good. So I've got a quilt up on the screen that I'll give you a second to kind of assess, Hannah. This Matterhorn quilt, this really pretty bizarre. It's a pretty bizarre purple and blue, pixelated. It looks like an 8-bit kind of...
Yeah, totally.
Thoughts?
It's like a Minecraft. It looks like it. Where's this from?
This is from the Denver Art Museum collection. It was made in 1934, and it's called Matterhorn. And Myrtle Melvins Fortner made it. Myrtle. It's Myrtle's life's work.
Myrtle's Matterhorn?
Yeah, Myrtle's Matterhorn. Yeah, exactly. Myrtle's Matterhorn.
The Myrtlehorn.
Perfect. Yeah, the Myrtlehorn.
I'm surprised that it was made then because that seems sort of like... what did somebody in 1930 know about pixelation,
Well, yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's an interesting approach.
Mm-hmm.
I do not love it, but I am impressed.
Good.
Also, all those little squares, I'm assuming that's all pieced, so...
Yes.
That's an enormous pain in the ass.
Yeah, yes, it would definitely have been difficult. And it's interesting you said, like, what did they know about pixelation? We call it that, right? We see it and our brain says it's pixels, right? But they saw it as, I don't know, pointillism or whatever. I don't know, but like,
to render it in squares like that,
right.
Even looking through like wavy church glass or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it would be more impressionistic. It would what I'm saying? But to render that in squares that way, particularly like the roof lines of the little cabins, very unusual.
Yeah, it is. It's
considered that perhaps this was not made by human hands.
Not made by human hands?
Yeah.
Hannah, wait a minute.
Can Myrtle account for her whereabouts during...
Are you saying Myrtle is an android?
No, I'm saying Myrtle might have gotten taken by aliens and probed, and then that was the inspiration for this quilt. Because she saw...
Unbelievable. You know what? This is what I wanted to have happen. I wanted Hannah to get her out on the road, open her up, I want to talk about probes. I wanted to have it. Because that means that you're feeling comfortable, you're enjoying yourself, and we could be like that. Okay.
Well, or I'm completely rattled by the fact that I just had to switch to like I've got 3 screens, and I was in the one and not the other, and I'm like talking to you on one and like look built on the other.
I know. It's so hard. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm drinking Cuban rum out of a jar, so
everything's gonna be fine. It's really something, all the wires and things and the programs that are running right now, but it's totally fine. So
I have access back to the chat, so I can have banter.
Okay, good.
Because before, when I was backstage on Twitch, I couldn't.
Okay, good. So yeah, if you can banter in the chat, then all is going to be just fine. I'm going to hide the chat just for a second, for like 2 seconds, to show this card that I worked so very hard on. Quilt Nerds on Parade. It's time to do the Quilt Nerds on Parade show, where we feature your work. Some of you, 23 of you actually, we're gonna show the work that you've been doing lately, and it's a wonderful mix. I love doing these shows because you're all very talented and very charming and just interesting and articulate. I've met a lot of quilt nerds at this point, either over Zoom or through email or in person. I mean, we have undertakers who are quilt nerds. We have toy designers. We have, I don't know, aerospace engineers. I don't know, all of the interesting people you can think of. They kind of like gravitate toward this show. Sherlock is a polyglot, 5 languages, I believe, she speaks. So anyway, just fascinating people. And so it's a pleasure to see your projects and to load them up for the show. And so it's March 28th, and my sister Hannah is here, and that is me and Hannah being the older sibling. And you are wearing a quilted vest.
I am totally wearing a quilted vest. I didn't even think about that.
That's right. And peep that quilt up on the wall, that log cabin quilt.
Yep.
You see that? That's Scrabble's quilt. That quilt is being loved by Scrabble for years.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, that's her little dog quilt. It's so great.
Wow.
Scrabble loves the quilt, and it's lived its life. It has lived a good life as a quilt.
It's got to be. In that picture, I am probably 6.
Yeah.
So that quilt, 42 years old.
That's right.
At least.
That's right.
Good heavens.
I know. Look, have we changed?
No, I was just gonna say. We still sort of bring that exact vibe.
We're giving the same energy. I think it is. I think it's true. You're like, I'm good. I'm cool. Like everything's fine, and I'm like, ah! Yeah. Okay.
It's like I just ate so many pixie sticks. Like you can't even. Exactly. Everything is amazing.
Exactly. Okay, so here we go. Let's take a look. Padma, you are going first, my dear, because you, I don't know. You're first up, Padma. And I also love your quilt, but that's really not, nobody goes first. There's no order in which, no order of preference or anything in terms of what I like the most or anything like that. But Padma, you're a long-term Quilt Nerd supporter, and I really appreciate you. And this quilt is great. What you're working on is really, really cool. So here we go. And I have comments. I have comments from the makers who are... hello. When you send in your 3 pictures, you get 3 pictures. Every once in a while, we'll get one that sneaks in. I'll allow a couple more or one more. But 3 pictures is the limit, and you can get about 200 words. You got a space on the form to tell me a little bit about your project. And so I'm going to read that as I show you the pictures that people sent, and that's how this works. So this is from Padma, and this is what she has to say about this project, and I'll show you the pictures as I read. Yeah, okay. Padma says, quote, "I have to thank Bonnie K., fellow quilt nerd, for getting rid of some denim 4 patches, which inspired this quilt. The hand stitching repair that you see is actually a pair of jeans that I wore so long that the hem was completely worn out. And being that I often have to shorten my jeans, and this was before I had a sewing machine, I hand hemmed all of my pants and did not do a great job either. Accidental shibori. Nice, accidental shibori. After all, denim is made with indigo dyeing, and I love the colors they fade to. I also love Japanese fabric, and I added... Yeah, sorry?
Just gonna say that.
Say it again.
Sorry, go ahead. I was just gonna say this is giving like serious like Japanese workwear vibes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's so cool. Oh, Padma, I love this. I also added, she said, patches of red, and that whole section of tan 2-inch blocks. I think it speaks well to the tan colored jeans in the quilt. We're going to look at all the pictures again once I'm done reading this bit. I remember embroidering our worn out jeans in the 1970s. Visible mending, quote unquote, says Padma, is not a new thing. I made it late last year and it's now hanging on my wall. Oh, this is a great picture, Padma, a detail shot. I like the simple and rustic look of it. I like the connection to the quilts of the past, where you can look at the fabrics and point out which ones you used to wear. Now the old jeans of mine and my friends tell a story. So cool. Hannah, what do you think?
I like it.
Yeah.
It's I'm probably gonna say it about everybody. It's not like I'm gonna be like, well, this one I'm.
No. Yeah. It's not about like, here's what you need to do next time, Padma. No.
Well, actually,
yeah.
No. No. I love the sort of the rugged fabric choices.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna. Well, not always, but I'm a huge fan of texture, usually over color.
Yeah. Okay.
So like,
interesting.
Unless it's like if I'm painting or something, but just personally, like in my spaces and on my person, I'm much more interested in texture than color.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm loving this. I think that the sort of the sandy khaki colors with the denim is really excellent. I like the juxtaposition of the sort of more organic. I mean, it almost looks like ikat fabric, but I know it's like bleach tie-dye jean stuff. That was what the artist statement said. I like the sort of organic kind of randomness of that pattern set against the more regimented squares. And I do think the red edge is a really nice touch.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that binding is great, Padma. Really, really nice choice. Yeah, I love it. It's so great. Yeah. The Boro vibes. It's wonderful. It's great, Padma. Yay! Very well done.
Yeah.
Totally approved. Great. Okay, we're gonna zip onto the next one. And the next one that we're gonna look at is from Art Quilt. Art Quilt. Now, one thing, just in case, we would happen to, if I'm showing you the wrong picture or something like that, I want you to tell me right away. But this is, Art Quilt has given us this gorgeous picture. Holy cow, this is so cool. It almost looks so perfect and nice. Like, I'm like, is it AI generated, this beautiful home? Like, it's really, really cool. It looks really, really cool.
Like a smartest. There's an app that lets you put your art on walls. This looks like that. Or it's just a really dope kitchen.
Yeah, I know. I can't tell. I really can't tell.
Are those light fixtures actually fish traps? Because I think that's what those are.
Are really? Oh my God.
It's... And the submitting artist will know if that's actually their kitchen. They will know if those are fish traps.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's... Anyway.
It's really, really cool. It's really cool. Let me go over here. So here's this first picture, okay? Dee, I agree. And here's what we have from Art Quilt. Just completed Art Quilt Friday. The Art Quilt. So this is the Art Quilt that she's talking about. It's called Friday Night at the Green Mill. Okay, and this is so cool because I know about this, and Hannah, you know too. So it's called Friday Night at the Green Mill, and she says it's the Green Mill Jazz Club, and it's 40 by 26 inches, designed and created while listening to WDCB Jazz Chicago. Each color and texture, a different beat to brighten and inspire and uplift any space with a hip, soft groove. Ooh yeah, jazz baby. Upcycled fabrics, hand quilted with a variety of textures, including velvet yarns, I could not decide on its orientation, so I added sleeves on 2 sides. That is awesome. I love to hand quilt with yarn and use repurposed fabrics, garment, upholstery, and velvets. Interesting, we have another reuse thing going on. And Mod Art Quilt says, about me, after working 30 years in our family construction business that has just retired, I have started my art career and am fortunate to bring all my sketches I've saved through years to life. That is awesome. That's so cool. That's so cool. And I know about the Green Mill because I performed at the Green Mill a lot.
Oh, yeah. It's like I've seen you a million times at the Green Mill.
Hannah's seen me a million times at the Green Mill. And on Sunday, I actually did a poem for the VIP stream for the Tier 2 and Tier 3 subscribers. I actually performed a poem. So yeah, the Green Mill, I know it well, but this is not about me or slam poetry. It's about jazz. And I think you have gotten it totally. You've gotten it totally. It's like, yeah, it's almost like notes on a, yeah, tell me, Hannah.
You know what? You could take, this strikes me as like, and this is going to sound kind of woo, but walk with me here for a second. Yeah. Like if this quilt could be translated perhaps into some sort of plate or piece of punched card, it would play, you could play it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that, yeah, it's like it's almost like a
player piano.
A bit, yeah, a bit. I want to know what this quilt sounds like because I could kind of guess by just looking at it. Which, you know, if we're talking about the reference and the inspiration was jazz, then mission freaking accomplished.
Oh, I want to hear what this quilt sounds like. That's a Hannah Fons quote. Somebody write it down. It's excellent. I want to hear what this quilt sounds like. I love it. So well done. I love it. Everybody is totally into it. It's amazing.
And also, let's get a moment to acknowledge how dope it is to use, you know, where everybody's striving, even like I don't quilt, but I sew stuff, you know, like garments and different things. And, you know, everybody's striving for these teeny little super, you know, like mathematically perfect stitches. Mm-hmm. But like, here's a good example of just blow that idea up and see what happens. Like literally make your stitches an inch long, you know, and make them part of it, not just like a utility part of the thing, but like actually part of the visual matrix of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And Hannah, I think that's one of the reasons quilts are so incredible to me as a medium is because you have the patchwork part and then you have this whole other vector, right? The vector of the stitches, and you have 2 layers, and I think it is pretty awesome. Okay, excellent. Way to go. Let us now look at Pen Burrito. You're next up. It's time for you. It's time for you to shine. Pen Burrito. Great. Here we go. Pen Burrito says of her piece. This is great. I love this so much. Okay. Pen Burrito says, I made this for lovely humans with a modern aesthetic, having a kiddo. When I found this fabric at a quilt store on vacation last summer, it was kismet. Though it took a while for the right pattern to arrive. Let me go over here. This is really interesting. This fabric is it looks so different, Pam, when you have it just on the design wall, and inside. Okay. Though it took a while for the right pattern to arrive. She said, I loved it. So for funsies, I included the alternate layouts I was toying with. I'm tickled pink with how this turned out, hence the pink binding. Hang on, let me go over to the finish. Yeah. I quilted it myself using a simple half-inch line, just simple half-inch lines to keep it fresh and modern. And she lets us know that the pattern is Zoe by GE Designs. And I think that's the German designer lady, I think so. But it's Zoe by GE Designs. And the size is 37 by 50. And the feature fabric is Vilma by Stoff, STOF is the designer, and Vilma is the fabric. This is really cool. This fabric is awesome. And I love these alternate layouts. That's really fun to see that. Let me zoom out a little bit. Sorry. Get this kind of, mid-size so we can see it. Yeah, they're great fabrics. They look batik-y, right? Or, Hannah, I feel like I don't know. I don't want to, I know better than to say what you like. Like, I don't, I'm not going to say.
No, actually, I do. I really like this as well. I mean, and as much as I am into, it's like a more organic kind of like improvisational kind of look, like the last one, for example.
Whoops.
Because it takes a lot of planning to make something look improvisational. Like, let's acknowledge that too.
Yeah, exactly.
But, this one, it looks. I like the mathematic kind of quality of it. To me, the fabrics, until you zoom in on them, the fabrics kind of look like electron microscope slides of like crystal structures or something, you know?
Yeah.
So I like that they're framed up with a darker, within the darker patch. Yes, this is a quilt for an engineer.
Yeah, it is. I like all those things that you had to say, and I agree. The the engineering of it, I think that's really apt. And I'm tickled pink with it, you know, so I added the pink binding. It's perfect.
And that adds some playfulness to it. Like if it had been bound with gray or something else, like it would be kind of a little bit severe.
Yeah.
But the pink binding gives it kind of a whimsical kind of thing. It's nice juxtaposition of geometry and then like a little bit of like.
Yeah, exactly. And the straight line quilting totally did what you wanted it to, Pen. It's like modern. It's fresh. It feels very, very today, very a la mode. Well done. A fine job. You can see I'm clipping along here. We got a lot to do. Okay, Shasta, it's your moment to shine. I'm so glad that you're here in the show. Shasta Matova, here we go. We're going to take a look at a very cool, talk about au courant, AI helped with this particular quilt. And we're going to read what Shasta has to say about it. Here we go. Okay, so here is this. Okay, so Shasta says of this piece, after watching the Quilt Nerd show, hey Jane, after watching the Quilt Nerd show about artificial intelligence, pause. I have to say, Eric told me about that whole chat GPI thing. Like about GPT, about like, honestly, don't you all think who were watching that show? It was definitely days before it blew up. It was maybe a week before it did. We were
ahead of the curve.
Thank you, Stephanie Cake. I was just about to ask you. I was like, we did the chat GPT thing on the show live the day I heard about it from Eric, who's like super connected. Okay, I'll get the nerd stuff. And so we did it. We did quilts and stuff here on the show, and we had it write one of the horror movies, Hannah, that you and I have talked about, the Quilt Maker horror movie. We're like, write a script. Anyway, we did it. We did it first, and then it blew up all around the world. So I know a lot of people heard about ChatGPT on Quilt Nerd. I know. I remember. Anyway, so Shasta saw that show, and she said, after watching the Quilt Nerd show about artificial intelligence, I followed the link Mary gave us and asked the bot to create a patchwork elephant. This first picture is the elephant the AI created. This is so awesome. It's so awesome what you did. I used that as a model to create my own pink patchwork elephant. This is so rad. On a piece of fusible and pressed to secure it. Then I cut out the elephant, placed it on a pieced background, and scribble quilted it down. I made the quilt in a week as part of a project quilting challenge. The elephant is named Zoo, which means elephant in Japanese. Probably not saying that right, but it's spelled Z-O-U. Zhu? Maybe Zhu? I'm not sure. But Z-O-U. This is so cool, Shasta!
It's like...
Hell yeah.
See, because here's the thing. Is that, there's all of this discourse about like, and I'm in publishing, like I'm a writer and editor. And so, Chat GPT and then Lensa before it, I'm a painter too. So like, so there's all like the robot overlords are edging into all these sort of creative fields. So it's a little bit, there's a whole lot to unpack and be said about that. Like, I think some of it will be dope and other parts are terrifying. But like, here we have an example of, it's like, okay, computer, like, give me a thing, and then I will take this thing and I reclaim this thing and I will turn it back and give it its human element back, which I think is that's quite a creative and like philosophical flex.
I agree.
So hell yeah, I'm here for this elephant. And also it's adorable, so that helps too.
Yeah. You also made it great, and this is fine. It's fine. I far prefer Zoo. It's this like scrappy animal. This what you've done here, like, I think you should do more of this. Like, I love it, Shasta. I love all the different fabrics. I love how tight you made it. I mean, you have clearly an awesome sense of color because you've got the tones like perfect. More animals, please. That's what I have to say. You know, Hannah?
Well, it has mood too. Like it's
yeah.
It's kind of, it's offset. It's not like it's perfectly centered.
Mm-hmm.
The background is sort of ambiguous. Like,
yep.
It has kind of it's cute. I don't know if forlorn is not really the word, but like there's layers and levels to this elephant. This is not merely an elephant to give to like your niece or nephew for their crib quilt. Like,
exactly. This is sweet and cute and this is a basic elephant. This one here, but the AI one. But this guy,
right? He's
got soul. I'm sorry, he's just done.
He's been played. He's seen things.
This
elephant has been through some stuff. I mean, he knows. He knows. Like, this elephant knows.
Exactly. So well done, Shasta. We love it. It's so okay. My great cats, are you ready? My great cats, are you ready for not the smoke? We're not going to give you the smoke. That's not what this is about. Are you ready for the smoke? No, we're gonna give you some love. Okay, man. There's a cat in the My Great Cats quilt photograph. Obviously, this is the way it has to be. So this is our friend My Great Cats, the Quilt Nerd on Parade submission from My Great Cats. Thank you so much for supporting the show, My Great Cats. You've been around for a hot minute, and I really appreciate you. And this is Let Us Find Out. My Great Cat says, today I'm sharing a quilt that my grandmother made for my father. I wish I knew the whole history, behind its creation. But sadly, the story remains a mystery. When I first inherited it, it graced my queen-size bed. But I noticed it was becoming more worn and damaged in spots. So to preserve it, I safely tucked it away. I can't say I'm particularly attached. Oh, this picture. I cannot right now with this picture, this detail shot of this cat paw.
That's just manipulative. If this was a competition, I would have to throw this out on the basis of I don't know, malingering or something. Like,
exactly.
You can't put a cat paw in your picture because it's not fair. Not everybody has a cat.
You can't put. I'm like choking. You can't do this, My Great Cat. And Hannah, just wait. We got a baby in the Quilt Nerd on Parade show tonight. That's so cute. It's like, talk about trigger warning. I mean, this baby is cute. But I mean, I gotta tell you, the cat paw detail shot. Oh, it's little paw. It's such a sweetie.
That's dirty. That's playing dirty pool, My Great Cat.
Playing dirty pool. Okay, I love that saying. Okay, sorry. Back to the story. Okay, I can't say this is back to My Great Cats. I can't say I'm particularly attached to the quilt, as she wasn't my favorite grandmother. Is that mean? Green is my favorite color, so maybe that's why I'm fond of it. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, wait, okay, hold on. That's different.
Well, sometimes the art, not the artist. Like, hey, wait, go back.
Here. Yeah, I clicked on I clicked on something that was wrong, I think. Oh, no. Yeah, no, I clicked on something before it was ready. So let me finish this here. And so, okay. So she says, My Great Cat says, when I started watching Quilt Nerd and there was the discussion of reusing old quilts for other things, and there was a discussion, I thought of my grandma's quilt and if somebody could make me a smoking hot dress like the one in the photo in number 3, I would gladly sacrifice this quilt for that project. Okay, I love that. Oh. The dress was from a Fiber Arts exhibition and the cat model is Billy. And you know what? I just gotta say, like, the whole topic of like quilts being reused for clothes or cut up to make things, like, I have my opinion. Like, I wanted to get the discussion started. My Great Cats, I'm so glad that you said that and that you would be like, yes, like, use this quilt for something else, because I super respect that opinion, like, especially when we talk about it, like when we actually like engage about it, So, yeah, heck yeah. And I mean, I think.
And that dress is bomb.
Yeah, this dress is amazing. It's really amazing. The only thing it's missing is Billy. Like, I need Billy to put his little paw like on the quilt. Yeah, totally. So thank you for sending this, because it's important to. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to. Not everybody agrees with me and everything I said, just about anything, right? Not just about my opinion on all that. But anyway, yeah.
What's the name of the the pattern of the quilt? It's a
Grandmother's Flower
Garden.
Thank you. Yes.
Yep. Yeah. It's awesome. Billy.
And I do like.
Yeah.
It's a nice quilt.
Go ahead, Hannah.
A classic. No, nothing further. I am curious about what's hanging from Billy's collar. Is that a little?
What is that?
Can we zoom on that? Enhance. Okay. Because if you zoom out, it looks like it's like a little. I don't know. It
looked like a little alien face to me.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I thought too.
Yeah, it does. It does look like a little alien face. I mean, yeah. The cat is fluffy. The quilt is beautiful, and the dress is totally awesome. So thank you, my great cats. I appreciate it. And where did you say you saw this? You saw it at Fiber Arts exhibition. Right on. Thank you, my great cats. I appreciate you a lot, and I appreciate you watching Quilt Nerd for, you ride or die, man. I appreciate it. Okay, so here now we go to, hang on now. I gotta go over here. I gotta check this out. Yes, slim quilt pants. Are you ready? Are you ready for the action? Because it's gonna be your moment here. Okay. So here we go. Hey, Angelina, everybody over there on YouTube. Thank you for watching. Here we go. We're doing this. Reagan 1, 2, and 3. Okay. I had to organize things a little bit differently tonight than usual. Okay. Slim quilt pants. You are up. And this is really, really cool. So, okay. I know. Wait till you see it up close. It's so cool. Slim Quilt Pants says, I finished this quilt in February for my partner and I when we moved in together. It doesn't have batting in the middle, so it's actually a summer quilt or coverlet. It's hand appliqued and machine pieced. Thanks again for all the inspiration. Now, we're gonna get some detail shots, but first I just want to show you the two detail shots that Slim Quilt Pants showed me. I want to just remind you, by the way, this reminds me a little bit of Ivy Kadivy's like particular style, just this like whimsical, beautiful, artistically sound and trained. I mean, are you a trained artist? I think perhaps you are. Ivy is, a professional art soul, but I don't know about Slim Quilt Pants, but this is really, really cool. And I recall, here's your other picture that you sent. I recall that when we did the first quilts show, Slim Quilt Pants, you sent a picture of your quilt, which was the eyes, the spread legs, right? And the eyeballs. Slim Quilt Pants, that was, when you sent that picture of that quilt that had, shall we say, feminist overtones, I don't know for sure. I don't know that you said that about the quilt, but that was your first quilt. And it was a pretty memorable quilt. So if people remember the first quilt show, it was my first quilt, right? It was kind of a Quilt Nerd on Parade extra because I asked people to send pictures of the first quilt they ever made if they had pictures of it. And Slim Quilt Pants, that quilt with the feminist overtones, that was your first quilt. And we were all blown away because I don't know how to make the, the stuff that you did, like this sort of like tuft work. I mean, I don't know. It was pretty amazing. But this is from you also. So like, what? Like you're doing great things. I hope that this is like maybe your 5th quilt or your 6th quilt. Like you need to keep doing this because this is cool.
Slim has confirmed this is the 2nd quilt.
What?
And Slim Quilt Pants, you need to knock it off because you're making me look bad.
No kidding. Hannah, let me send a picture. Hang on, because I've got stuff all in like alphabetical order. Let me text you a picture of Slim Quilt Pants of the first quilt, the one I'm talking about with the legs. Hang on 1 second. Let me send. I can text it. Okay, great.
To me?
Yeah. Okay, Reagan. Okay. So because it's all in folders. So anyway, so you'll get that soon. And I mean, that was her first quilt ever, and so that came first. This came second. Look at the goose.
Okay. Well, damn.
You got it?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is. It's provocative.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Oh,
in
the first one. Yeah.
In a discursive, thematic, and artistic way.
Yep.
That's a lot.
Yep. Yeah, it's a lot, and it's got sculptural
and also,
elements.
And brave and all of that too. I mean, like that's
Yeah, it's pretty
like punk rock. That's that may be the punkest quilt I've ever seen.
The punkest quilt. You hear that? You hear that? Slim Quilt Pants.
Slim Quilt Pants. That your first quilt, punk as hell.
Yeah, that's awesome. I could show it on camera too, but we got to move on. So if you want to see Slim Quilt Pants' first quilt ever, go back
real quick, I want to talk about the gosling. I mean, there's the craftsmanship, the concept and all that, but the effortless cuteness of it.
Yeah.
Of the teeny elements, like the little sparkles in the mouse's eyes.
Yes. And
this little baby goose. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Yeah. It's really
oozing personality. There's a lot of spirit. I love it.
Oozing personality. Oh my God, there's more little. Look at the little gosling.
And the tea bag. Oh my gosh.
I know. Yeah. It's wonderful. Yay! Yay! Very, 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 very good. Okay, we love it.
Without being twee. It's not twee at all. It's just charming.
Yeah, no, it's not twee. No, that's the thing. Well, and congratulations, because I think what you said is that you just moved in, right? You moved in together with the partner. Good luck. You know what I have to say to that. Okay. So next up we have. Hang on one second. Let me grab this. We have. Yes, we have Faux Vintage. Are you ready? Are you ready, Faux Vintage? Hopefully you are. This is really, really, really cool. This is like really cool. And again, let me just make sure when I show your work, in case, because sometimes it has to do with the form that you fill out, file names and screen names and these different things. So if I put something up on the screen and you're like, that's not my quilt, Cake, I know that you will let me know right away. But I believe that I've got it right, that this is Faux Vintage, who was Jacob Jellies, right? Jacob Jellies. There was a name switch. But anyway, that's not important. What's important is that we have, I'm right, is that we have information from Faux Vintage about this. And don't we want to know how the hell this is happening, right? So here's what Faux Vintage has to say. And I have 3 pictures. And actually, let me show you the 3 pictures I have. That's the back. We're going to hang on to that. And that's the quilting. Okay, yeah. You did such a good job, Matt. Thank you so much. So here we go. So Faux says, I started this quilt a few years ago. So this is Matt, okay? This is Matt, by the way. I just wanted to say that because we have guys who watch the show, and God bless you. I appreciate y'all so much. And, everybody's welcome here in every way that can possibly mean. And I'm really glad we got the guys, man. We love the guys. So Matt says, I started this quilt a few years ago. Okay, that makes me feel better. When I found a blog post with the pattern/tutorial, and I am going to give you that link here in just a bit after I'm done. I got a lot of stuff going on, so I'm gonna just wait a second. But I'll get you the URL, which Matt included. This quilt is a copy of the 1910 red and white Vortex quilt from the Joanna S. Rose collection. The quilt on the cover of, Hannah, you know this, on the cover of the Red and White Quilts, the Infinite Variety exhibit. Do you remember the red and white?
So I probably, in fact, saw that quilt at the Armory here in New York. I saw that show.
You absolutely did. Cake, can you Google the Joanna S. Rose, Vortex quilt, the red and white, and give a link to it, like at the image, so people who aren't familiar can see it?
And honestly, I mean, even though we want to keep moving, if you could find a picture of the Red and White Quilt Armory show in New York and just show a shot, that was one of the most extraordinarily well-curated art events of any kind I've ever seen just in my life. Yep. And just I've never seen quilts displayed like that before, ever. It was just beyond cool.
Yeah, it really was.
Folks would benefit from seeing it. It's just really, really
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to grab it because it's really easy. And Kate can give you a link to see it. But here's what I'm going to do because it's easy enough. And we've talked.
What I just put in there is it's the Folk Art Museum, and it's got the show and that particular quilt on one page.
Okay, great, good. And here's what I'll do because it's really easy for me because I just dragged it onto the desktop. Look at this.
Oh yeah, perfect.
There you go. Right?
That link will do it.
Mm-hmm. That link will do it.
That was an experience.
Yeah, Hannah. I mean, I was really sick. That's why I couldn't come to that. I regret it greatly that I missed it. Yeah. So anyway, back to Faux Vintage. So Matt says it's constructed from 6 9-degree wedges cut from pieced strip sets. It was easier to piece than it looks, he says, because it was easier to piece than it looks, but the bulky seams in the center were a bit tricky when joining everything together. Oh, yeah? Yeah, is that right? Good God, this is the back.
Oh, man.
Oh, dude. Dude.
Oh, get out. But that's honestly, it's almost as cool as the front side.
It really is.
That's really neat.
It really is as cool as the front.
That's really
Oh my God, this is really
And also
neat.
props for the workmanship that she can flip it over and be like, yeah. You know, and it does like an absolute squirrel's nest back there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it looks really good.
I have to chime in. I took a class on making this type of.
You did?
It's really not easy. It really doesn't go together that easy, Matt. I'm sorry, I don't agree. It's hard.
Cake's like, I just fact checked that, and this is really hard. You did a marvelous job. I mean, look at the front, and then we'll look at the quilting picture. I mean, it's butter. It's just butter. It's
and huge
gorgeous.
props for like the lowering the contrast.
Yeah.
Like the red and white, super effective, super arresting.
Yeah.
I must say that as much as impressive as that quilt is, I do not love the swirlies, like the sort of Art Nouveau swirlies in the corner. I like it way better the way Matt did it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And the muted colors just, I mean, that's, you can't argue with that. That's a beautiful quilt.
Sure.
It would be churly say otherwise, but I just like the crispness and the cleanness of the way Matt focused on the vortex part, and the lower contrast fabric choice it's on point. I love it. Yeah, I mean 1,000%. And here there's a shot of the quilting as you're doing it. And here's what you have to say about this, Matt. I'm hand quilting with big stitch quilting. Ooh, I love it. And number 12 pearl cotton in 2 colors to match the piecing. Wait a minute. What are you? Oh, damn. Dude is using turquoise thread in the turquoise and cream in the cream, or off-white in the off-white. Okay, let's continue. Are you... Okay, hang on. Quilting through all the seams. Okay, let me just repeat. I am hand quilting with big stitch quilting and number 12 pearl cotton in 2 colors to match the piecing. Quilting through all the seams in the center section was a challenge. But now that I'm working on the larger squares where there is less seam bulk, okay, over here, the quilting is going a bit faster. Is it, Matt? I think I will quilt the outer part with a simple crosshatch or hanging diamond design, but I haven't decided yet. I chose an aqua turquoise butterfly fabric for the back as a nod to the applique corners on the original quilt. I didn't know how to do needle turn applique at the time, so I left my corners plain, which is exactly what Hannah was saying. She was digging. We didn't actually see the corners, but Hannah, that's exactly what Matt did, is he left the corners blank, which we know is a thumbs up, at least from this quarter over here. Yeah. That is amazing. Wow. I mean, that's really special. I hope that you have, I hope there's an aim to share this quilt. Do you know what I mean? Like with more people, as in I don't know, submit it to a thing? I don't know. It's wonderful. Yeah.
Really cool. Really, really cool. Let's just look at that one more time. Well done. Well done, to say the least. Okay, here we go. Jill Alex, I hope you're ready. Because it's time. It's time for you. Let me go over here, get this. Yeah, here we go. All right. Stephanie Cake, how are you doing? Are you good? We're clipping along. Good. Okay, we're clipping along. We're gonna, if it were to happen, the hour gets real late and we haven't gotten everybody, because I don't like to go too fast, because then we don't get to really look at things. And if we get to about, we have 45 minutes left in the normal length of the show, and if I have a lot left, which I think we're doing okay, but if I have a lot, then we will hold some for next time, because
oh, it's all good.
You know what I mean?
As long as the nerds are in, I'm in.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Me too.
Over time, we do Quilt Nerd After Dark, and you'd be like, all right, everybody. Yeah. Go pour yourself, go switch to liquor.
Yeah. Switch to liquor. I think a lot of them are.
This is where it's legal. Go ahead and spark something up.
Hannah.
And then we'll just settle in. We'll do long form.
I mean, I'd like to do all the quilts tonight, so that's what we're going to shoot for. So let's keep it going. Let's keep it rolling. So Jill Alex. dear friend of Quilt Nerd, shared this quilt with us tonight, and she says this. This is the first quilt I actually finished. I've been quilting, since 2015-ish, and have completed a number of tops. But this is the first one, quilted and bound. It's Straits of Mackinac by Bonnie Hunter. It was begun in 2021 at Bonnie's Retreat House in the mountains of VA. And I have a picture. Look at this. I got a picture. This is a great picture. Look at those quilters waving.
Nice.
Yeah, that was my first ever retreat, Jill says. I went with a friend who had gone to high school with my mother. That's wild. And we connected after my mother's death in 2013. I made amazing friends at this retreat, and have retreated with them numerous times since. In 2022, we went back to Bonnie's, and a number of us had finished quilts. See the photo. Okay, wait, sorry. This is her quilt. So yeah, okay, there's the photo. I'm the second from the left. Second from the left. Unless I've switched things around. I think this is right. Yeah, okay. This photo is over the rail at Bonnie's Retreat. I love this quilt, but it was so damn heavy with all the seams at the end. I almost threw it in the trash. And then in all caps, haha, never making one this big again. It's 90 by 90. The biggest and more complicated I've ever made. It's great, Jill.
You landed the plane, and it looks so nice.
You totally landed the plane. It's wonderful. The colors are so cool. And what's it called? It's called Straits of Mackinac. Oh, yeah. It looks...
I think it's Mackinac. Isn't it Mackinac?
It is. It's Mackinac.
Isn't that weird Michigan thing where you say it like it's not spelled?
Yes. It's Mackinac. Damn it. I feel like I learned it when we did Michigan for Quilt Folk, and then just promptly forgot it until and it was like, I'm sure when I learned that it was Mackinac, I was like, I'm so glad I know how to say it so I won't embarrass myself in public whenever I'm and here I am. Mackinac, and I'm from the Midwest. Anyway, Mackinac. It's Jill, it's just phenomenal, and congratulations for finishing such a big quilt, like binding, from picking fabric to turning the last corner of the binding. It's a huge commitment when it's a big quilt like this, and you nailed it. It's so good.
And if there's someone staying at your home, or perhaps you or a loved one find yourself about to freak out, you have a weighted blanket. You don't have to buy one of those. You just have it. You can just throw that on somebody and they'll just chill right out, because it's like 90 inches by 90 inches and weighs 20 pounds.
Hannah, I love it. I love it. You have a very good point. Sometimes I like the weighted blanket. I like to be flat. And I don't know if you know this, Hannah, but Eric and I, we make each other flat. Like sometimes we just need to be flat.
Oh, yeah.
And so Eric will just like lay like a board on top of me and make me flat, and I'll make him flat. Just flat.
Well, that's what, yeah. I actually, when I was staying with our youngest sister, Vix, Rebecca, at her place, I found out she had a weighted blanket, and I wanted to experience one because I'd never tried one. And they sound super cozy. Mm-hmm. And so she had one, and I used it, but I think it was in maybe August. Mm-hmm. And so me and my dog Lou were under this blanket, and we woke up at the dead of night, and we were so hot, like like dangerously dying hot, and we couldn't get out from the blanket. And so it was like, and Lou, my little dog, was like 12 pounds. He's like, ah. And I had to kick him onto the floor, and So I'm just saying, they're great, but be careful.
They're great, but be careful. So Jill, you heard it from Hannah first. Quilt is wonderful. Be careful if you have a dog.
Careful.
Who, yes,
right.
It's really
be trapped under it.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Way to go. Congratulations. You should be very, very proud. Okay. And now, Kathy, Word and Bird Nerd, this is your moment. It's your moment of the hour. Several times you've come at the end of the show, so that's not going to happen now. Nope. We're going to feature your work right now with your quilt, which I can't wait to know what you had to say, and I love what you have to say always. You're a very welcome part of this community. Word and Bird Nerd says, I called this little piece my Montana quilt because I bought the fabric while on a wonderful family vacation we took to Montana in the mid-90s when my kids were young. I'm pretty sure it was a kit, but I have no memory of actually sewing it. Again, this is a project where I had no prior knowledge of the technique or how difficult it might be to sew such small pieces. I remember your last thing, Kathy. And with the wovens, oh, it's true. You've got wonderful wovens in here, Kathy. I love it so much. The size of each log cabin, she says, is 1 3/4 inch square. The total size, the total size of the piece. Whoa, the total size of this piece is 11 inches by 15 inches. Hannah, correct me if I'm wrong. 12 inches is a foot.
That's correct.
Yeah, it's 11 inches by 15 inches. What are you saying to me?
From this ginormous thing to the teeniest quilt ever. Holy cow. Oh my God, penny for scale.
Penny for scale.
So small.
Who do you think you are? What are you? This is, I mean, I don't even know what to say. I mean, really, yeah. This is not like mock, like I'm not outraged, but I mean, this is not like mock, like shock or whatever. It's not mock shock. I just don't know. I don't know what to say. That's so tiny, and the wovens are so difficult because they fray, right? They tend to fray more than a regular piece of cotton broadcloth, right? I mean, I suppose someone's going to be able to tell me, but the weave is it looser? Like, what am I trying to say? Are the fibers thicker?
Oh, those are going to be shreddy. That must have been just
Yes.
Yeah. Huge pain. Huge pain in the ass.
Huge pain in the ass, and so worth it. By the way, I haven't been able to look at the chat tonight, right? Because I'm dealing with, got the guest and I got the pictures and the stuff. But I just looked down and I saw Earth Girl now said, "I know now I will never show my work." Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Totally. Yeah, exactly. I agree with Hannah. Come on, Earth Girl. Now you can. But yeah, this is really, really impressive, Kathy. And I remember that when you showed your first quilt, the wonderful leaves on the quilt, that was also small, right? So is it true that you started small, so to speak, in a manner of speaking, started small? But this is really amazing. So this is the back, right? This is the back. And so Kathy says, I used it as a topper on the coffee table. You let people sit things on this until recently. Yeah, it's had wine and salad dressing spilled on it in the last year or so. Oh wow. And it's since been moved to a safer spot, but I note that the cat likes to sit on it now. Looking at it with today's eyes, I am impressed with myself that I did a pretty decent job back then. It's one of my early machine quilted pieces with clear monofilament thread on top to hide the fact, quote unquote, that it was not hand quilted. Interesting. Which is what we did in those days. Interesting. Wow. Yeah. Hand quilting was like, machine quilting wasn't a thing yet, really. It wasn't like standard accepted practice.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
I like the whatever, nominal irregularities are going on. Like, it's a freaking log cabin. Like, have you ever seen an actual log cabin? They do the same thing. It's like, I feel like that it only adds to the, I don't know, just the quilt doesn't really have ambiance, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like it serves the both pattern and the fact that it came from Montana. This says Big Sky Country to me. I like it.
It says Big Sky Country. Nice. Yeah, Montana quilt. Yeah, that's Big Sky Country, right? Is that why you said that? Because you're smart?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah.
I mean, no, but yeah.
Okay.
That's why I said that.
Yeah, it's Big Sky Country. Yeah, it's fantastic. Kathy, well done. You're good, kid. You got a future, and you got to be in pictures. It's really good. Okay, Mother Nature, are you ready for this? Maybe we're just not going to take a break. We're not going to take a break. We're just going to keep going because I think that we should. Okay, this is. Hold on. Yeah, here we've got Mother Nature. Let me bring this up, and I have loaded all these pictures up and gotten them organized, but I have not read ahead. So I'm learning about all of these along with you, which is my favorite thing to do. So let's see what Mother Nature has to say about her quilt for this Quilt Nerd on Parade, the Quilt Nerd on Parade show.
Yeah.
Okay.
I must know.
I know, right? Okay, so Mother Nature says, these were made to celebrate the centennial. Hold on, let me get there. Okay, to celebrate the centennial of the passing of the 19th Amendment. I was hoping to use them in a Girl Scout program, but the pandemic prevented it. In addition, they were part of 2 guild challenges. So this is picture number 1. We can come back to these. Here's picture number 2. Wow. Whoa. This is amazing. Oh my God, I really like this. And this is image number 3. So we'll get back to it. I'm sure she's going to talk about that. Okay. So these quilts were part of 2 guild challenges. The first was to use a panel, which I used as the border of the protest banner. Great. Okay, yeah, so this is a protest banner. And this fringe down at the bottom, I've seen, protest banners, like if you see a quilt that has this particular, design element, like, and of course, if there's a message that has a political tone or whatever, a protest banner it's a form, and the protest banners often have fringe at the bottom. So that's something that you'll see sometimes in various exhibitions of textile art. Okay.
Never really thought about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
Because you would put it on like a cross piece on like a pole and carry it in a parade.
Exactly. So the protest banner, that's really a feature, right, of a protest banner. It's great, Mother Nature. Okay, the suffragettes used banners like this when they stood before the White House for months on end. Let's zoom in here. We won't be able to zoom in too close, or it'll get some pixelated problems. But I do see, by the way, Deeds Not Words. Do you see that? And that was the name of the exhibit, curated by Sandra Sider and Pam Weeks, I believe. Brilliant exhibit about suffrage and the 19th Amendment that we saw at the Iowa Quilt Museum, which was really cool. Anyway, so Sylvia says, Mother Nature says, ultimately, standing before the White House for months on end, she's talking about the suffragettes, ultimately it caused several of the suffragettes to be prisoned in the Occoquan workhouse. Yeah, so they were imprisoned for protesting, which I do believe is a constitutional right, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay, so she says the second was for a not a quilt challenge. So that's quote unquote. This one was for a not a quilt challenge. And I made the ratification flag. Mother Nature, you are so cool. This is so cool. Each time a state ratified the amendment, the 19th Amendment, a star was added. Tennessee was the last state to ratify the amendment and the last star sewn on. I researched and contacted a couple of museums to find out the size. Hold on. We play that sound whenever somebody's like researching something, or should. I researched and contacted a couple museums to find out the size of the flag, but no one could tell me, and no one knows where the original is. Shock. The third, right? So, wow, man, if you could find the original, woohoo, that would be pretty amazing. This is so cool, Sylvia. Okay, sorry, Mother Nature, sorry. And she says the third picture is the label I made. Nice, to document the panel quilt and the history. Oh my God, look at them. They're doing the thing.
They're doing the thing.
Wow, this is so neat. Oh man, Kelly, I'm with you. Bomb.com. Wow. I love that so much. And you say National Women's Party activists watch Alice Paul sew a star onto the NWP ratification flag, representing another state's ratification of the 19th Amendment. I'm going to leave it on the picture. That is really cool. Mother Nature, well done. Well done. Yeah. The right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex. Congress shall have power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. Whoop-bam. Beautifully done. I love it. Hannah, I mean, I feel like you're
any state that did not have a star on that flag at the time that picture was taken, hopefully was just like so ashamed and just abashed. They were like, yeah, guys, we really gotta just, I mean,
yeah.
There's like 34 stars in that quilt. Like, we're not on it yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like,
so perhaps it, yeah.
Yeah. Like, we got to get with the program, y'all. Like, it's a problem. Yeah.
Get on the stick.
Yeah. Stop acting like a monkey and get on the stick. Why? I don't know why we say that, but we do. Okay. So thanks, Becky and Angie, for participating and watching the show. I'm so glad that you do. Okay. So we're moving on. And this is by our own Susanna, also known as Pi. She's a helper on the show, and she really is very good at making quilts as well. And she made this quilt and took a really fetching picture of it, if you ask me. I mean, this is like a style shot with some...
Yeah, it's very editorial.
Yeah, it's very editorial.
For like a quilt pick, yes.
Yeah. It's like it's a mood. This quilt is a mood.
Yeah.
So she's done this. Yeah, it's, you see the sunlight, you know, it's very Herb Ritz, you know, very there's a lot of right, atmosphere. So here's what Susanna, our own pie, God bless you, says about this, and you're gonna be surprised. She says, "This is my second ever quilt." What? I've only been doing small wall hangings and such to practice. But lately, I've been thinking I should get some actual quilts under my belt. I've also been thinking I should learn some classic quilt patterns. Here she is, holding it up. Okay? So flying geese it was, says Susanna. Hundreds of geese, right? Yeah, exactly. Hundreds of them later, I have to say, I'm pretty good at them now. I just kept making them until I had a queen-size quilt. The fabric was a mix of stash fabric from Kuwait, the US, and Spain, as well as a fabric a friend passed on to me. Luckily, it all seems to work together. My plan is to haul it home this summer and take a long arm class at Karen McTavish's studio, because Susanna is in Minnesota. She's in Duluth, actually, just like Karen McTavish, the famous long armor. Susanna closes, can't wait to learn a new skill and have another finished quilt. I mean, she showed me this at one point. I love the colors. And you know what?
Oh,
right? You might not think, right? Go ahead, Hannah. Go ahead.
Fiesta wear.
Fiesta wear. Totally.
Right?
Totally. It's fiesta wear.
It's like fiesta wear, you know, like not cutlery, but yeah, bowls and cups and stuff.
You are absolutely right. It works because fiesta wear is freaking awesome. It's timeless, right?
Yeah, totally. And also, well, and it's also has sort of a high desert kind of like Santa Fe sort of, you know, terracotta voice kind of going on as well. And this is the thing. It's like you wouldn't, like if you describe those colors on paper, you'd just be like, man, I don't know. Like that doesn't seem, but it visually works so well. And also the prints and the solids too.
Yes.
Like it's got movement being hectic. Like nice job. Especially for what, second? No,
yeah.
First?
Yeah. Second. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is not an easy fabric to use. I would say that floral, not easy, but she really, really got it. She really got it.
Sedona Sunset. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Someone said Sedona Sunset. Oh yeah, Kelly. Exactly. Yep. Yeah, beautiful. Exactly. We are doing actually really, really well. Okay. So here is where we are going next. We are going to talk to Dee Dee Brew Crew. I mean, we're gonna, look at your stuff, Dee Dee. Now I'm gonna open these up and hopefully get them in the right order. But I mean, we will get them in the right order. I may not open them immediately to the right order. But here's the thing, what I didn't want to have happen tonight, y'all, is I didn't want my program to crash. So I'm opening them all up individually. Okay, hang on. Oh, you see, you've got a lot of stuff to look forward to here. Okay, here we go. I believe, yes, this is where we begin. Dee Dee, forgive me if I've gotten things out of order, but I'm pretty sure I've got it in order. So this is what Dee Dee has to say about what you're looking at. Dee Dee says, this quilt was made by Dee Dee Brew Crew and It's Okay's great Aunt May. Now, It's Okay is one of our dear friends, our Quilt Nerd friends, and Dee Dee Brew Crew, the person who submitted this, another dear Quilt Nerd friend, and Dee Dee and Kay are sisters. And if you watch the show a lot, you know that. But in case you didn't know, Dee Dee and Kay are sisters, and they run a wonderful quilt shop called Picking Daisies in California. So anyway, so Dee Dee says, this quilt was made by our great Aunt May, me and Kay. May Bartell was born in Siloam Springs, Arkansas in 1878 and passed away in Seattle, Washington in 1947. This quilt was on Kay's bed growing up until our dog Butch, the little scamp, it's a little scamp, chewed a hole in it. Oh, what a little scamp. What a little scamp. Butch. Our mother repaired it and, realizing it was a treasure, hung it on a wall in our house. Nice. This quilt is now displayed at the top of Dee Dee's stairwell in her home in San Luis Obispo, California. Lucky Dee Dee. It looks so pretty. Oh my God. We believe it was an applique quilt kit popular in the 1930s and sold in places like Sears and Roebuck. Maybe Mary will do an episode on these whole cloth applique quilt kits someday. Absolutely. The photo of May is May on her wedding day in 1910. Whoa!
Oh wait, click through that.
I mean,
damn.
That's why it looks like she has a cake on her head, and I love it. Like, that's not me being like, she looks like she has a cake on her head. Like, it looks like a cake.
She's probably like 21 years old in this picture, and you're just like,
God, you're right.
Like, it just, the years hit different back then.
The years hit different? Is that what you said?
Yeah. You know, so, well, we got pictures of our, of Grandma Thelma, Aunt Catherine, when she was like 16, she was, you know, I mean, she was still lovely, but it was just like, wow, those, it's just a very different demeanor in those pictures. But
yep, you're right. There's,
amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible. There's one other picture here, Dee Dee, that you sent, which is, hold on. It's a really nice detail shot, and I want to open it up here because it's really nice. Here. The quilting is really cool. God, you know, I mean, it's interesting, like the kit quilt thing, and we don't have time to talk about it tonight, but absolutely, like I brought up some kit quilts before, but we haven't really dug that deep into it. And I seem to remember when we did talk about kit quilts, I didn't know as much I don't talk to you about things that I know about. We discover things together, but I remember with the kit quilts, like I wanted to guide the discussion a little bit better than I did. So it is time for sure to revisit the kit quilt topic. But I don't know, like kit quilts, like just because you've got pieces cut out for you or you have a design that you're working with, I mean, kit quilts are amazing. A lot of them were being produced in the first half of the 20th century. Like I think about the 40s being like really kit quilty and 50s and stuff. But again, like there's so much more to learn about it. But I mean, this is really complex quilting. Really complex, and to put all the pieces together, I mean, you have to applique them all down, you know, it's not like you're cheating or something, you know, so
it's like you feel like if you buy a kit it's going to be somehow easier, but none of this is easy.
No.
Not even a little bit.
It just saves you a little time because you're not doing as much cutting, but like, I don't know, I mean, most patchwork quilts have way fewer pieces than a quilt like this, you know, so it's an interesting thing to look at. This is gorgeous. Nice stairwell, nice landing. I'm in. Can I come hang out? Great. Okay, so Kitty Hannah, it's your moment. We've got a Hannah in the house. Hannah.
There can be only one. Kitty Hannah, I'll see you out back.
Did you hear that? Gauntlet thrown. Smack has been laid down. Here we go. Okay, Kitty Hannah is, I told you there was a baby. This is the baby, right? Oh yeah, this is the baby. Oh my God, Hannah, Kitty Hannah. just get ready, everybody. Here's your second, content warning of the night. This is pretty intense. Okay, here we go. Okay, ready? Look at this. Yeah, what is coming on your screen here in a second?
What?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, it's a problem. We have. You know what? Here's what I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play this because we need to call the authorities because this is too cute. We're all gonna expire. I mean, come on.
Not even a person. It's a little bean. Like,
yes, it's a little bean. So Kitty Hannah says, I made this quilt. So the quilt is what's behind this perfect creature here. Kitty says, I made this quilt for my niece. I had taken a break from quilting for about a year while my son was an infant. And this quilt got me back into the hobby. It's a simple quilt, but I still managed to make the construction way harder than it had to be. Hey, Sherry. The theme of her nursery, her niece, was rainbows. So I used scrap pieces from my stash to make the stripy ombre. Cute, right?
Is that little sprig pattern Fonz Porter?
This one?
That looks mad familiar.
Really?
That little sprig one, like the pinkish one, the mauve.
I mean, it's possible, Nan, but I mean, it's been a hot minute since Mom and Liz did fabric. I mean, if Kitty's got this...
I know, but there's still some floating around.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 1,000%. No, it's absolutely true. Kitty, do you remember which what fabric that is. Hannah, you're absolutely right. I mean, people can have scraps and like get scraps like for.
I could be wrong, but there was like a little. I remember because we ourselves, a question was asked earlier in the chat about who in the world must have cut out all those pieces for those kit quilts back in the day. I'm like, well, I don't know about 1920, but I know that in 1991, the Fons sisters did an awful lot of that.
We did. We absolutely did.
That's why I have a mental Rolodex of like Fons and Porter.
Oh my God, there's some incoming kittens.
Hannah, the kittens are now invading. The kittens sewing on the screen. What that means when we have so many kittens is that there are someone who loves Quilt Nerd very much has given gift subscriptions.
I see what's going on.
Yeah.
This Pogo has created the chat. He's throwing around subscriptions like dollars at a strip club.
So Pogo I believe is here to support a spouse who is into quilting. So I'm wondering if Pogo spouse is already a quilt nerd.
Oh.
Just curious. You don't have to reveal yourself.
Yes,
I'm just curious.
That's true. You don't have to reveal yourself. That is excellent intel, Stephanie Cake. Pogo you just gifted 5 tier 1 subscriptions to the community. And so Sparkles Mosby, Sharon is twitching. I love your name. Livy 721 and Salad Zone and Olaf. Olaf, oh my God. I think I know you. This is a crazy show for you to watch. Anyway. So you just got a gift subscription to Quilt Nerd, which means you're entered in all the giveaways and you don't have to watch ads and all of that, and that's amazing. So thank you so much, Pogo for gifting those subscriptions. That's amazing. It really helps support the show, and I appreciate you very much. So, okay, Olaf, how's it going? Okay, so anyway, so back to this. Hannah, what were you saying? What were you saying about throwing dollars at a strip club or something like that? Oh yeah, right. Kittens.
We used child labor in the 90s.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right. We helped mom produce stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
What were you? I don't know. I'm distracted. Okay, let's get back to Kitty Hannah. Here's what she has to say. So she says, the theme of my niece's nursery was rainbows. Oh yeah. So I used scrap pieces from my stash to make the stripy ombre. Okay, cute, right? But instead of just cutting long strips, sewing them together, cutting them, and then rearranging them, I stupidly cut out each little piece individually. I cut out 2-inch blocks. What an idiot. You're not an idiot, Kitty. It's amazing. So as a result, she says, it doesn't line up very well. Oh well, it's still cute, and my sister-in-law loved it. She ended up using the quilt in her newborn photos. I call that a win. So if you're new to quilting, what Kitty's saying is like rather than just cutting really long strips and then cutting them down as needed, she cut out little squares, right? Which I don't know. I feel like I've done something like that in a quilt when actually I could tell you a story about a quilt that I did so wrong. Like I spent months and months on it. And as soon as I showed it to somebody, they were like, why didn't you just cut squares? Anyway, it's like a very quilter, a quilter who knows patchwork would be devastated to know how I did this quilt, how I constructed it and how I should have done it. Anyway, I get it. You succeeded, Kitty. It's amazing. This baby, she's a vision, and your quilt is amazing. So, congratulations.
The quilt actually is making the baby cuter.
The quilt is making the baby cuter?
I mean, yeah, fact. It's like, baby's cute and all, but if you took her off that quilt, she'd be all right. But on the quilt, everybody is a showstopper. Everybody's just like, holy hell, that baby. It's like 50% quilt.
the baby's fine. Like, Kitty, your niece, she's fine. But
she's fine.
But can we just get this? Yeah, let's get the baby out of there. Okay.
Can we Photoshop about the baby?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. More quilt subscriptions? Yvonne, I just saw Yvonne in the chat. It's so good to see you. Okay. Babe, it's great to see you too. Okay, here we go. We're doing amazing. We are not stopping for this. This train does not stop. Okay, are you ready? Angie, it's time for your moment. This is for you, okay? God help me. I have the wrong one. I don't think that I do. I think we're going to be just fine. Now, I'm not sure if I have the right order of your pictures because I don't see a number on your pictures. I could be wrong. Forgive me if I don't have it right. But Angie Darling, are you new? I don't know. I feel like I don't know your screen name, but I'm really glad you're here and I'm really glad you submitted this. So Angie Darling 75 says, I made this quilt from a lot of leftover Ankara print fabrics that I had from when I made masks during the pandemic. It was my first quilt ever. I made it starting February 1st, 2023 for Black History Month and finished on March 1st. It was a simple pattern I learned from a Donna Jordan video. 1 second, do that. Ooh, I love this. Oh, I really, really like this fabric. I call my version the Color Riot Owambe, which is the Yoruba word for party quilt. Oh, nice. Color Riot Owambe. Hannah's like, I know. Color Riot Owambe quilt. I love it. I'm hooked and have made 4 new quilts since. Quilting and Quilt Nerd has brought me so much joy. Thank you for this platform. Angie. And I see you spell your name A''Ngie. Angie. So that's not in your screen name because I don't think you can use apostrophes in your screen names. I don't know, maybe not. But that's up here on the screen, and I think that you're either you're a longtime watcher and just aren't in the chat too much. And you know what? I love my lurker lounge people. It's completely awesome. You never have to chat. You can just lurk and enjoy the show. You do not have to chat. And I know people do that. But when you submit to the Quilt Nerd on Parade show or you get in the chat, we love it so much. So it's really nice to meet you, Angie. And I really, really like your quilt. Hannah, I mean, I feel like these fabrics are your vibe.
Oh, without question. I mean, yeah, well, first of all, just the composition, the color choices, the fabric choices, and sort of like the crackled kind of piecing of it. Mm-hmm. It just looks like it's like a riot, but in a good way.
Yeah, yeah. like a
riot.
Party. Yeah, like Color Riot Owambe. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. Hang on.
Yeah, I just love it. It's fantastic. And could you zoom in or scroll over to the border a little bit? Mm-hmm. I thought that was particularly intriguing.
Was it the first picture I showed? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on. I'll get the close up back. Okay, yeah, good.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, that's interesting. So cool. It's interesting. The Ankara print. I love it. Oh my God, Angie, thank you so much for coming by and being part of the show. And you did a great job, and you should feel very proud. Okay, so Hope, are you ready? Here we go. Oh wait, hold on. We do have a giveaway to do tonight, and we have a bunch of people who just got subscriptions because people are gifting subscriptions. So Stephanie Kate, can we pause while I pull up the finish, and let's just see how many we have left. I think we have like a manageable number of people. We're doing great. It's not even 9 o'clock. So Kate, can you get ready to do the drawing, and I will tell the people what we're drawing for tonight for the March giveaway?
I sure can. I've had it queued up because I knew we'd probably have to do it quick.
Awesome. Yes, we do. So you're ready, and it's for subscribers only. Every month we give away something really delicious. A book or I don't know, we gave away a quilt puzzle recently that was donated by M. Hicks for the giveaway. I have other stuff coming up that's like really good. Like I have a really neat vintage patchwork purse that I got in London. Okay, I'm gonna show it to you. I'm just gonna show it to you. I mean, I don't know, maybe people don't think it's as cool as I do, but frankly, I just have too much stuff. I have too many things, and the green screen is not gonna like this very much, or it's gonna like it a lot, and it's not going to show you all the... Do you see this? Can you tell what this is? I mean, I know the green is like making it sort of transparent. I'll take a picture of it, but I got it could be a great hat.
It looks like it's full of holes.
Yeah, Hannah. So you can see it on the Zoom, but like this is really cool. I got it at Spitalfields Market in Spitalfields. I mean, I got it at like this famous market, and it's totally from the 70s, and it has like lucite handles. It's really cool. But the truth is that I cannot have all the things that I have in my life. And I was like, this purse is so cool. I mean, it's really cool. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's bigger than my head. You can carry it. It's head sized. It's oversized. So you can carry it, and it's polyester, and it's wonderful. So this is going to be a giveaway. And that's the kind of thing that like will happen to you possibly if you're a subscriber to Quilt Nerd. You may receive a 1970s era polyester hexie purse from London. I mean, I can't help it. The show's cool. Look. It's cool. It's just a cool show. So tonight the giveaway is this. And this is, I mean, is it as cool as the purse from London? Maybe. This is American.
That baby from the could fit in that purse.
The bait, Hannah, could you repeat that, please? I don't know if we heard you.
The baby from the other picture could fit in that purse. It's a baby toad.
Yeah. It's a baby toad. It's true. I think we could fit a couple of babies in that thing.
Get off that quilt. Put it in the purse.
That baby was small. That purse is big. It's generous. Okay, so here's what this is. So this is a. It says American Quilts, and then there's words that I don't speak. It's gift wrap. So this book, which is not quite bigger than my head, 10 sheets of gift wrap. Gift wraps by artists. So this was a series that was published by Ullman Publishing. The American Folk Art Museum had something to do with it, okay? There's a couple different formats of this book, but I can tell you that this was published in 1987, and all of the pages are still in it. So what it is in fact, okay, I can show you because I have a copy of it that is different, and I've used it, so I can pull out one of the pages and show you what this is. And I'll pull out one that doesn't have green on it, so you can see it. Okay, so this, you hear that perforation? This is gift wrap. You know?
I think, did we not have a copy of this in our house as kids? I remember wrapping certain, like, very select presents for very select recipients in quilt fabric. Yeah. Or quilt paper.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Division Street is doing the most tonight. So anyway, so there are 10 different quilt, like, wrapping paper pieces, large pieces of wrapping paper in this book. And 50 by 70 centimeters, 27 inches by 19 inches. And you're going to get it. And let me just make sure. Yeah, it's great. It's in great condition. And it's from the 1987. So who's going to get it? Steph, are you ready? Are you going to draw which lucky subscriber gets the March giveaway?
I am ready. Okay. So I will shake the pretend dice.
She's shaking the pretend dice.
To make it seem like I'm really picking and it's not just a spreadsheet that does it. Oh, look, it's Stephanie Cake who got this.
Well, my goodness.
I'm kidding. I told Mary right before the show that I desperately needed this book because I really like that wrapping paper. It's really awesome. No, our winner is, and you know what? They're usually a person who has to watch replays, I think, but I think I saw them here tonight.
Really?
You are a winner, So Honeybee.
So Honey got it. So Honey, thank you for supporting Quilt Nerd. You have been around for a hot minute. I appreciate you. I love what you have to say. When you're in the chat, it's like we have wisdom coming forth from you. Really, thank you so much. I am so glad that you won this. Do not forget to send your address, your mailing address to quiltnerdshow@gmail.com. And also, Mother Nature, I need your address. I need because you won something, I think like a long time ago, and it's over there, and I haven't sent it to you because I need more of your address. I mean, we need the full address. So if you win something on the show, or you up your subscription or anything like that, you need to make sure to send your email address to quiltnerdshow@gmail.com, because that's how we get in touch with you about all kinds of things. So Hani, congratulations. A little champagne for you. This will be yours. You can give all kinds of gifts to all kinds of people with quilt wrapping paper. Thank you so much for supporting Quilt Nerd. Okay, so what do we got? Thank you, Stephanie Cake. And Hannah, if you need quilt wrapping paper, I know a guy. I can probably hook you up. I'm just saying.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah. I'll keep that. I'll note taken.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Jan, it's you. Oh yeah. And what I was going to tell you is we have 1, 2, 3. We have just like 5 more people. I think there's just like 5 more nerds that we are going to share the work of. That was, I don't know, it was a terrible sentence, but I think you understand my point. Dangling preposition, terrible syntax, it's fine. But I need to get Jan's notes. So Hannah, what do you see? You see words, right?
I do.
What are they saying? As I'm looking for the notes that I need to have.
I see the backward end. Clever.
Here we go.
Clever.
Oh my God.
So this, of course, the backward end might predate this person's participation and identification as a quilt nerd.
Thank you.
I see a thing, but I feel like it's a nice touch.
Yeah.
I like the rustic stitching.
Mm-hmm.
I like the message. Color choice solid. I like it.
Thumbs up from Nan. Okay, cool. Jan make stuff. Let's see what you have to say. The backwards end, Hannah, I hadn't noticed right away. Of course, I hadn't looked at it because I was getting prepared, but nice noticing it. And Jan, chef's kiss, girl. Hell yes. Jan says, for a while now, I've been working on finishing UFOs, unfinished objects, and trying to use my stash for good. I'm feeling the need to go in an entirely different direction from patterns, rules, and directions. Hang on. Whoops, that is not right. That is the first thing that's like from like a Quilt Nerd parade like months ago. Okay, sorry. So she says, I'm feeling the need to go in an entirely different direction from patterns, rules, and directions. Watching Quilt Nerd gave me the idea of creating words on quilts with positive messages and affirmations. Have just started on these blocks. Plan is to big stitch quilt each block, embellish and create a banner type wall hanging. Nice. I see a series in my future. Body positive theme, maybe next. Note my backwards ends. They're kind of hard to do. Oh, that's so interesting. That's so funny. They're kind of hard to do. Oh my God, I love this one. I am just fine. That's so great. Okay, so if you're new here, the backwards end is a thing. We'll talk about it a lot on the show, so I won't go too far into it tonight, but all we know is that on a lot of quilts that had words on them from the 19th century and earlier, a lot of times you'd have words on quilts and the end would be reversed. And we don't, there's theories as to why, we don't know, but that's why the logo in the Quilt Nerd logo is, the N is reversed, because it is like, it's like a secret handshake. When you're really nerdy about quilts, you're like, oh my God, you reverse the N, you know, it's great. Hey, Angie. So yeah, so this is so great, Jan. Yeah, Hannah, go ahead.
I like that. I'm just this one in particular. Like the other ones are excellent as well.
Yeah.
This one I like because like I'm just fine is either you can look at it as like I am, I am enough. I'm just fine precisely as I am. Like at the sort of face value, but then like, oh, I'm just fine.
Yeah. Yes.
There could be a little edge to that. You know what I'm saying? Just like, oh, I'm just fine.
I'm just fine. Yeah, exactly.
Or I am merely fine. I am only fine. Like that's just what we're aiming for. Fine is fine. You know what I mean? So yeah. So there's some ambiguity there that I appreciate.
You could also say like, somebody's like, that girl, Jan, she's kind of fine. It's like, no, I'm just fine. Like I'm fine. Like there's no qualification. I'm just fine. You know what I mean?
I'm not sort of fine.
I'm not sort of fine. I'm not kind of fine. Fine.
I'm fine.
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine. Think for yourself. Jan, it's amazing. Keep going. It's so cool. I am sure that the chat is just like completely loving this. You must. Expand your heart. Oh my God, did I not show that one yet? Expand your heart. No, I did. Okay. Expand your heart. I'm just fine. It's wonderful. I love it. Words on quilts. It's one of my favorite things. Favorite things ever. Okay. So, Ivy Kadivy, you ready for this? We're always ready for Ivy Kadivy. Oh my God. Okay. So Ivy is, I don't know. When we've done Quilt Nerd on Parade in the past, like Ivy is, she's a fan favorite, I have to say. Okay. Let's see what you've got to share, Ivy, tonight. Great. Open. Sorry. Great. We're going to start here. We're going to start here. Okay, cool. Hannah, yeah. So this says mac and cheese up at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, mac and cheese. Yeah, mac and cheese. Okay. Ivy says mac and cheese. Love and loss. Remembering and forgetting. Uncle Ronnie left us. Then my aunt, Sonia, left us and left sadness, memories, and stuff. All the talk in the family about the handling of life's possessions led my niece Nikki to blurt out, "I don't want any of your stuff." All I heard, "Alls I want is mac and cheese." Now, I feel like we've talked about this quilt before, so I'm not stopping. Hannah, this is good stuff. And Ivy continues, "It must be nice, free to think of food, free to swim and enjoy the sunshine." I was there once, making mud pies in the driveway, using mud puddle water to get the hamburgers to stick together just right, drying them on my little stove, constructed with carefully balanced sticks gathered from around the dooryard and under the giant shade maple tree. We had picnics there with all my cousins, aunts, and uncles. 4th of July was the big one when the peas came off. Freshly picked and shelled, served in that green milk glass bowl with fresh cow's milk and butter. Who will remember? I started with triangles for a different quilt, but they were not enough. Nikki was the star. She walks in and the room comes alive. Yes, that's it. 2023, it's unfinished, pieced, and appliqued. Whoa, Ivy.
Cool down.
Oh my God. I mean, I say it every time, but Ivy, honestly, the writing that you share when you share your work is like, it's kind of my favorite part. And then there's the quilt and the patchwork and the applique and the art that you make. But I love reading your narratives. It's like, if I ever have a show and tell, it's like tap Ivy to write the description. It's just beautiful. And Ivy, I got to talk to you once. Hopefully I'll get to talk to you again about some stuff. And yeah, I mean, your background, in your line of work and just your experience, it shows in your quilts that you have this sense of play and wonder and magic. And I just, this one just almost makes me cry. It's so beautiful. And like, I don't know, the care you take with every fabric. And I love, hold on. Okay, sorry, I got to show this too. This is a great picture on your sewing machine. Yeah, I mean, the care you take, I don't know, every piece just seems like, of course, we all think very carefully and very deeply about the pieces we put into our quilt. Like, of course we do. But I don't know, there's just a certain intentionality with the things I've seen from you that is really powerful. Hannah, sorry, I was going on and on, but it's neat, right? Isn't it cool?
Oh, it's super neat. I mean, it has the sort of like, mm-hmm. I like the fact that the visual whimsy is anchored by the more, I mean, I won't say heavy, but the more, somewhat more heavy sentiment, like mm-hmm. You're writing about it. Mm-hmm. I do think it's also refreshing that, like, to have sort of almost a piece of like poetic verse instead of like an artist statement. Mm-hmm. I think that's a really nice touch. It really adds levels to it. Mm-hmm. And like the girl she's giving me, like Ramona Quimby, like Hermione Granger, kind of like
totally,
like her little shirt, and like it's just it's good. It's again whimsy without being saccharine.
Ramona Quimby, yes, absolutely. Hermione Granger, yes.
Or like
Eloise,
she's got that kind of like, she's a pistol, you can tell.
Yes, I love it. I love it so much. Cool. I love it. Okay, so Eva. Oh, so way to go, Ivy. So we're gonna go to Eva. Eva, you are up, and I am going to hold on. I'm gonna do Eva. No, that's not true. Is that not right? Hang on. The Flinster, perhaps. Yeah, Niflinster. Sorry, it's you next, my dear. Niflinster. Another. I mean, Stan. I don't know. Sometimes Stan doesn't sound like a good thing. Like stalker fan. Like that's not good, right? Stan just seems a little bit weird. Like I really like the stuff that I like, but I don't know if I would want to be a Stan. So I'm just gonna say you're Niflinster, and this is your work, and we love you. Niflinster says, I made this quilt this winter. It was my beachy response to a nasty Minnesota winter. I fell in love with these panels, partly because I'm a failed watercolorist. The designer, Shell Rummel, creates all of her designs in watercolor. I struggled with how to handle the panels, which I managed primarily by buying more fabric in the line. I finally decided that I needed to frame the panels somehow and began to experiment. There were lots of versions of this quilt. That's interesting. I quilted it myself. Nice. I made the quilt for a friend that I have known all my life, but she doesn't know it yet.
Ooh.
Cool. That's so beautiful. The quilting is amazing. The Flinster.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's to see, like, it's like patchwork, but I don't know that I've seen patchwork and quilting balanced in this particular ratio before.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Because like there's patchwork there, and it's not, this is a really, really interesting approach. The texture is fantastic.
It really is. It's really good. It's
really, and it's minimal, but yet it has, but sort of maximal in terms of like the swirly, like quilting kind of thing. Yeah, there's something remarkable going on here. Yeah. I like it a lot.
Yeah, awesome. Hannah's a big fan, and so am I. I mean, it's fantastic, and the watercolor nature of it, and the winter time, and then this like swirling snow that I feel. It's beautiful. Nufflinster, it's really, really cool, and I, again, some really good writing from the Quilt Nerds. I mean, I made it for a friend I've known all my life, but she doesn't know it yet. That's way cool. Well done. Well done, Nufflinster. A fine job. A fine job. Excellent. Amy Pabst, are you ready for this? Are you? You listen. The people who are watching the show, you're not ready for this. Amy's ready. She's like, I've been ready. This is my thing. But you're not ready. You're gonna see why. Here we go. Amy Pabst. It's bananas. It's kind of a crack up what you've done here. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Amy Pabst. I can't. I'm just gonna let this sink in for a second before I continue.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, I'm gonna have a little sip of wine because you're all gonna need a minute, and so do I. All right. Okay. So
just wait.
Yeah, please. Go ahead.
Just let me give.
I'm gonna get more chips.
Like, interpret it.
Yeah.
What the Sam hell I'm looking at here?
Yeah.
So these are not log cabins. What's it called? Help me out.
Yeah, log cabin. Or pineapple.
Okay.
Pineapple. Yeah.
So these are what? See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8-layer log cabins at what? An inch square?
Well, Cake, what do you think?
What do you use? This is like, what did you like? Go to the Shire and get some like elven fabric to make this happen?
Yeah, I can't even. I mean, this I'm speechless. I just said, sorry, word nerd, your tiny little log cabin just got trumped because I don't know what to say about this.
Yeah, me neither. Dee Marie said it best. Amy, you rascal. Okay. So let's hear what the woman has to say for herself, for heaven's sake. Oh my God. Okay. Amy says, work in progress. I've been wanting to make an all-white quilt since 2017, but I couldn't seem to justify sewing together thousands of pieces of fabric that were all white. Would it make sense? Would it be a waste of time? A couple of years ago, I came across an all-white painting, white on white, done by Russian painter Kazimir Malevich in 1918. It is a white square painted on a white background, and I'm obsessed with the painting. It inspired me to finally make an all-white pineapple quilt for my micro-piecing series. My quilt measures 15 inches. Yeah, Hannah's just like... My quilt measures 15 inches by 16 inches and is made up of 5 different white fabrics: silk dupioni, cotton muslin, silk cotton radiance, polyester, and velvet. They are all a slightly different shade of white, an effect which is also enhanced by the different luminosities of the various fiber contents. Each 1-inch block has 53 pieces for a total of 12,720 individual pieces. I am about 50% finished with the quilting. It's stitched in the ditch, she says. Last month, I got to go to the Museum of Modern Art in NYC and see the original painting by Malevich. It felt like a pilgrimage to finally get to see it for myself and hold up one of my blocks next to the painting.
That is outstanding.
Yeah.
And also, like, to go and see a piece of artwork that you've admired or that it's like meeting a rock star. You know what I'm saying? I was just having a conversation with some of my friends. We were at museums here in the city last week and seeing garments that we had. Like, there was this fashion exhibit on at the Brooklyn Museum, Terry McGlair.
Yeah. Oh, really? When?
Oh, I think it's through May.
It's still there?
And yeah. You should come.
Yeah.
But anyway, I want to talk more about
sorry, go on.
The work itself. But to be inspired by a piece and there's to love a piece of artwork and to actually go like meet it. Yeah. It's like you go meet it. You don't go like, oh, I'm going to look at it. No, you go and like encounter it and meet it and like interact with it. It's really it's quite an experience. And then also too, like, God bless it to be able to have a creative, just to then, I don't know, like, translate or sublimate that experience into like a creative thing that you are now going to do. Yep. Just like let us give thanks, because there's a definitely very, very, very small minority of folks that do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, most people just sort of look at art and then walk away. But if you then turn it into and make your own thing after having been inspired by it, like, that's kind of a rare thing to do.
It really is. It really is. And to have art in your life and then to be able to connect with certain things, exactly what you're saying. It's a gift. It's a gift. It's a privilege. Absolutely. Amy, this is just extraordinary. And someone said you should enter it in I think, QuiltCon or something. I mean, it really is. Kate said it. I have no words. It blows my mind. It's really special. And it's really special. Brilliant. Well done. Moving on. I don't know what else to say about it. It's incredible. Okay. All of these things are incredible in their own way.
Fun fact says each block takes about half an hour to make.
Really? A half an hour to make?
Oh, an hour. Wait. An hour, half an hour? No, half an hour. Yes. That is from the quilter's mouth.
From the quilter's mouth. Okay. Sorry. That's wrong. Oh, hold on. Do I have the wrong thing? No. Okay, I'm okay. Oh, well, how about this? Hope, let me ask you something. Did you... I'm afraid that maybe I have... Do I have all your pictures? Well, anyway, I've got this one, and I'll make sure I've got the other one.
The resolution on that photo is terrible.
Yeah, no, that's our
This is cool.
Yeah, it's really, really cool.
Extremely cool.
Yeah. Okay. So hang on one second. I'm gonna read Hope, and then I'm gonna make sure I've got all your pictures. Sorry, I combined them with the last Quilt Nerd on Parade. Well, I didn't, but Google Drive did. So anyway, so Hope says this is BP, my latest finish. I've always been fascinated by pixelated quilts. One of the first quilts I made was fascinating, quote unquote, or Mr. Spock, from a quilt along from Fun Threads Designs, designed by Carol Steele. I was amazed at how much you could do by just categorizing your scraps into dark and light. Shortly after I joined my guild, Christy Dahm was the speaker, and she showed her quilt Pixeling, or the 10th. And she talked about how she made the pattern using an online program called Pick2Pat. So it's PIC number 2 PAT. Pick2Pat. Picture to pattern, I suspect. A free cross-stitch pattern maker. I went right home and made this pattern. I had already decided I wanted to make a quilt with Baden Powell's face on it. Baden? I don't know that name. I had been involved in guiding and scouting for a very long time, Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, I think is what you're saying. I think. And I thought it would make a great quilt. I cropped my image square, scanned it, and created a 6x6 cross-stitch pattern with 10 stitches per inch. That would give me a 60x60 quilt made of 1-inch squares. I did not make it all from 1-inch squares. I used larger pieces wherever I could. I settled on 6 colors. At the quilt shop, I compared the embroidery floss recommended by the pattern maker to the Kona solids. The top was in a box for a few years before I got around to quilting it. 2 of my daughter's friends from scouting got married this past October, and I will be giving this quilt to them because scouting brought them together. That is so cool.
Yeah,
I love it. That's so great. Okay.
It's gonna look. It would look fantastic on a bed. It's gonna look amazing, like as an art piece on the wall.
Yeah.
Like that's a deeply cool quilt.
It's so great. I hope. Did you have another picture, honey? Because I it's gonna take me a second to find it. It's complicated, but I'll look for it. Okay, if we have a second. But this picture, by the way, I just have to say, and I know I'm covering a little bit here, but this is a great style shot. It's a great photograph of a quilt that you need to see all of. And like, I will look and see if there. And Cake, you let me know if Hope says in the chat. Is there another picture?
Yeah, she hasn't said anything. I'm not sure. Oh no, there she is.
Okay, good.
Oh, just a picture of the pattern.
Oh, okay. Yes. I know what you're talking about. Okay. Well, quilt-wise, this is the picture that we have, and it is fabulous. I love the snow behind it. It makes me think, like, if I ever have pictures to take of any quilts, like, wait for winter, because this white behind it is fabulous. It's really beautiful, Hope. Well done. And I love that it's going to be a gift. That's perfect. That is perfect. Okay. So we have Eva. We've got you, and we've got just 3 left. We've got Qua Cat.
Before you do Eva, though,
Hannah.
of which we've been having a little conversation here.
Yes, please.
So Eva posted something about how after we saw the insanely tiny pineapple log cabin project, she was like, "I'm gonna go sit in the corn," and I'm like, I need to know the origin of this saying because I'm gonna use it immediately and often. Because
I'm gonna go sit in the corn.
And forlorn, like, well, I'm just gonna go sit in the corner.
Yeah.
She's no, it's a typo. I was gonna go sit in the corner.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh hell no. We're sitting from now on. Whenever we feel like abashed and like outgunned, we need to go sit in the corner.
Yeah. Like everybody's over there sitting in the barley, but not me. I'm over here sitting in the corn.
Sit in the barley. I'm gonna be sitting in the corner.
Yeah. It's very good. I like it. That was Eva who said it, or no?
Yeah,
Eva. Well, that's perfect timing, Eva, because
we are children of the corn, Jill, Alex.
It's your moment. Yes, exactly. Okay, let me turn this over because I have to. I'm gonna spin this here just a minute. Turn image, rotate. Mm-hmm. What are you doing to me? Why are you doing this? Flip, crop, turn, rotate. Okay, that's fine. Hold on, image. Great. Free rotate. I got this. Everything's totally fine. Yeah, because I can see your cutting mat here, and I want it to be just right. Okay, cool. So, Eva says of this project, since finding the Quilt Nerd community, I have been inspired in so many ways. Hold on. I've been inspired in so many ways. Okay. Oh, got it. Great. This is just a small sample of blocks I've made due to all of you. My first time seeing Quilt Nerd on parade, I saw Sherlock So's. Hey, Sherlock So's take on log cabins, and I was inspired, Eva says, to learn how to make one. One coworker stream, I think, someone asked about mystery quilts, and Robin, I think, posted the link on the Discord, the Disco, which led me to find tutorials on how to make the other blocks you see here. If it weren't for that, I would never have found this. I would never have found this if not for all of you. Awesome, Eva. I hope to one day present a finished quilt made up of blocks, which come from all the inspiration, lessons, and tricks that all the quilt nerds have taught me. Oh my God. Until then, Eva says, I say thank you all again for everything you do. I cannot wait to see what's next. That's amazing. And also, Eva is Spitzka as well. So we know her as Eva Little and as Spitzka. I should have saved that for the end. I should have made that happen. Anyway, then the second photo, Eva says, is a horror story in one photo. What?
What am I looking at?
Oh my God. Okay, here. This is what she says. Years ago, I was a beginner and bought an acrylic foot for my machine. This is why you never use a zigzag stitch with this foot on. You're fine for the first stitch, not so much for the second. If you're wondering, it took 2 pliers, lots of swear words, and tears to finally get the needle out of the foot.
And that's why you need to sit in the corn.
Yeah, that's right. Eva.
Just gotta go sit in the corn.
That's right. Nobody puts baby in the corn unless they're, I don't know. I mean, yeah, there's some joke there, but this is creepy. That's really, really creepy. The force of that machine is really intense. God.
Listen, real quick, and I know like we got to move on.
Yeah,
but...
it's okay. We got two folks left. We're good.
Okay. So I did because I myself am a nerd. I mean, quilt nerd adjacent, but just nerd molecularly anyway. Yes. So like, when I'd have an idea for like a garment that I wanted to make, right? Mm-hmm. But I would lack the technical know-how to execute it to the standard that I wanted it. Mm-hmm. So my response to that, this was like pre-YouTube. So I was just like, well, I guess I better go take a semester at FIT. Like that's the Fashion Institute of Technology here in the city. All right. So I went and did like pattern making and draping and some like, different like tailoring classes, right? Mm-hmm. And so at FIT, they have these massive Juki industrial sewing machines. Mm-hmm. So there's these like indestructible Japanese machines, I believe, that the presser, the foot is like not the presser foot, but the treadle, like the foot mm-hmm. feet, is they have this hair trigger, and like if you press on it even like the teeniest bit, mm-hmm. it goes from 0 to like 12 million.
That's so scary.
And just these needles, the needles are gigantic, and they will literally cut fabric. Like if you do the wrong thing at the wrong mm-hmm. time, they will, instead of sewing your fabric, they will slice it. Mm-hmm. And every year, every semester, it never failed. It never failed. And there are no guards on it, so you have to feed the fabric through, and there's nothing to protect you, right?
It's terrible. It's terrible.
Oh yeah,
it's terrible.
So if you think that you see what a consumer sewing machine can do to a presser foot.
Yeah.
Like imagine that happened in somebody's finger.
It's terrible. It's terrible. I mean, what? Yeah. I just.
And then of course you've got like 6 fish for your finger, and they have to like fish it out. It's horrible.
Hannah, look what I did.
Hey.
You see me? Sorry, I was gonna put on my sweater, but it's yellow, but it's green enough, I guess. Okay. So let's wrap this up. You guys have done great. There's a lot of quilt nerds, a lot of beautiful work to look at, and here we go. This is second to last here. We've got Victorious. Are you ready for this? Are you still here? I hope you're still here. I know it's been a long night, and a great one. So here we go. So this is a neat story. Yeah, it's really cool. So Victoria Semmer says, this project, I love this picture. This project was originally going to be a wedding quilt for a friend, but time and distance separated me from my friend. As an expression of the emotions of lost connection and rebuilding, I chopped up the tan and white/cream stars and put them back together with large strips of color. I hope to deliver one of the two as a reconnection gesture soon, and to keep one because we're always connected no matter the distance.
Oh.
Whoa.
That's like, it's like a friendship net, but major.
Yeah. Oh my God, Victorious, that's beautiful. That one quilt became two. And that you'd both have one. I have chills. I really do. Like I got goosebumps. That's fucking beautiful. That's so cool. Oh, the quilting on this is really great. It's perfect. Kind of this like cracked sort of crackle, kind of this crackleness. It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Oh yeah, perfect.
And here's another picture of that. Maybe this is oh no, is this the second one? Hang on. Yeah.
Well, and also too, as like in terms of the color and like the sort of the geometric, the little slices and bits and bars, mm-hmm. it definitely gives like sort of an 80s sort of like synth pop album cover kind of like thing, and I say that in utmost enjoyment of it.
Oh yeah.
Because it managed to do that and it still looks fresh. Like it doesn't look remotely dated, but it still has kind of like this sort of sensibility that puts it there. Like mm-hmm. I just really I like it a lot.
Yeah, I absolutely know what you mean. It's kind of, like what's that? Who was that artist who did the women's faces and like
Nagel?
Yeah. There's like a moment of that happening.
I didn't want to get too in the weeds, but yeah.
1,000%. Yeah. It's just gorgeous, Victorious. Emery, yeah, wonderful. So I need to find, Qua is the last quilt nerd that we have to talk about, and I need to make sure that I have the right photos. So Stephanie Cake, how are you doing over there? What have you seen tonight? You know, as we close out this show, what have you seen? What do you think about all this? I mean, it's been another Quilt Nerd on Parade. It's a special time. We only do it a few times a year. Give me your thoughts.
You know, you guys you always blow me away with how talented you are. And I mean, your great vision for color and, you know, pattern. And some of you are so like just drop dead incredible at getting points to match. And I mean, you just blow me away every time. And, you know, for the newbies, you're brave. You're you know, looking to up your game. I mean, I have such mad respect for all that.
Mm-hmm.
And everything you make is beautiful and precious.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And some highlights for you tonight while I'm looking for this last thing. I mean, and it's not favorites, it's just like highlights. Like, what are some of the things that struck you that will stay with you? Or even better, what inspired you tonight? Like, did you want to try something? Is there something you want to try sometime, or, you know?
Was that a question for me?
It was. Yeah, it was. Because I can't find the thing. So I'm just like, in fact, I think I did this to you, but I think it also was on camera. I was like, I'm tired. But I can't find Quack Cat's picture, and I have to go into the Gmail, and I have to find it, and it's terrible. Okay. It's so hard. Okay.
Yes, I will be gobsmacked again for a few minutes. All of you guys. Yeah, you know, I mean, I love looking at quilts, you know? I mean, if it's somebody's first quilt, if it's something that somebody, you know, has been quilting for 50, 100 years, you know, it doesn't matter. I love to look and see what energy people have put into cutting up fabric and putting it back together, you know, because we get, you know, as quilters, we get a lot of flack for that from people that like don't know how joyful and wonderful this is. And, you know, I think that, you know, somebody who turns their nose up at cutting up fabric and putting it back together has obviously never seen what we see here tonight. Yeah, I mean, you guys just impressed me so much. And also put me to shame because I totally forgot to even send mine in this week.
It's good. It's a good thing because we have so much, right? We have so much.
Yeah.
And I just found it. And I just found the last one. Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
Okay. Thank you, Cake, for... Yeah, you're good. You're good at it. You're like, what else can I say that is, you know, enlightening and substantive, and you did it. Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't know that micro quilting was the thing, really.
Yeah. I mean,
it certainly makes sense. Like but yeah, I would not have. That's new information.
Yeah, I have to admit. Yeah, that micro quilting and word nerd, I hope I didn't offend you by saying that Amy topped you, but frankly, I can't, my head has exploded with Amy's work, and I'm like, I just can't even.
Yeah, and I think about, all of the quilts that we've talked about are in my mind. And by the way, that's for the beautiful One Quilt Becomes Two. Victorious is absolutely gorgeous, wonderful, great in every way. So our last one tonight.
Conceptually, that's one of my faves. Conceptually, I think that's just excellent. What a great idea.
Yeah, me too. So Quack Cat, thank you so much. You're the caboose, the hot caboose, the cool caboose, and thank you for sending in your pictures. We have 2 pictures from you of this project, and Quack Cat says these squares are for a prayer quilt I started in 2014, a first attempt to make half-square triangles, which I was pretty proud of. I used fabrics in delicate blues and tans on those sample cards from designer fabric lines, but Laura thought my squares didn't have enough contrast. Who's Laura? I don't know who Laura is. Maybe she's a quilt nerd. And so I put it all aside for a few years. For a few years? Okay, cool. Then after I got some lavender fabric to make borders, I put it aside again. After writing about my first quilt, for the first quilt show, right? I thought I should finish this quilt in Laura's honor. Oh, that's right, since she passed away a few years ago. Okay, I think I'm remembering this story. I finally found inspiration in an on-point setting called Beads, 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 from Donna Jordan. And so I'm reworking the borders to have purple corners. After 9 years, it's time to donate the quilt to someone who needs comforting, a comforting lap quilt in gentle colors. There's a ways to go, but after pushing out huge 2 quilts for the girls at Christmas, this is a cinch. And, you know, I think I'm remembering, I don't know, maybe I'm not just making that up, but like there's something about, and we have really wonderful stories from Quilt Nerds about different projects and the people that they're made for. Sometimes the people are getting quilts in memoriam, you know, but I don't know. Maybe you mentioned Laura before, Kwa, but you're a person who's in this community and you share a lot in these shows. And so perhaps, you know, I'm remembering something about your friend or someone in your life. But regardless of that, whenever I see a quilt that's been worked over years, that's been worked for a while, put away, and then it comes back, whatever, and it really, really is affecting to me, because, you know, you could start a painting and you could work on it and then decide you didn't like it or it wasn't working or something. I mean, I just feel like a quilt, one of the powerful things about it is that it can really take a beating. You know, you can shove it in a drawer, you can pull it back out years later. You can pull it back out like 20 years later and finish it. And there's something about the timelessness of quilts, and fabrics go in and out of style, but they're out of style and then they come back into style, you know, so you can make it work decades later. And I really like that. And I love that it's a prayer quilt and that it's in remembrance of your friend and that it's going to comfort somebody who doesn't even know maybe either of you, right? If it's a charity quilt or a donation.
It's not even done yet and it looks comforting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that quilt, that has a lot, it's just like radiating benevolent. Yeah. Nice, you know, just good energy. Like that quilt's just gonna be just fine.
Yeah, the quilt's gonna be just fine.
Just fine.
I love it. That's awesome. Eva says, so many quilts with so many feelings. It's so true. You all are really delightful. And Kwa Cat, hey, thanks all. Kwa says, I do like the fabrics with the ballerinas and chandeliers and gentle florals. 1,000%. And can I say, I just noticed when we were looking at this beautiful bird, flying, right? Flying in like the azure sky.
Oh yeah, I didn't even see that. I was looking at the lady in the like the little outline farther down.
Oh yeah. Oh, lovely, very Art Deco. It's awesome. Okay, yeah, so cool. And to everybody who submitted tonight, and thank you so much. I mean, it's a privilege. It's a privilege to be able to look at your work and not just look at it, but hear the stories behind it. That's really, really some of the best part, because we get that context. And I mean, the Quilt Nerd on Parade shows, we do them 4 times a year because it's fun. It's fun, and it helps us know each other too a lot, actually. I think more than I realized. Like, a lot of the things I know about this audience have happened because of the Quilt Nerd on Parade shows, and I'm so grateful for that, because you're really cool people. And I don't think we've met like a not cool person. Like, we don't have, well, knock on wood, like, we don't have trolls around here. Like, even Pump Daddy 6969 turned out to be awesome, Hannah. Like, this person, yeah.
I had doubts about them. I was like, all right.
Yeah, I know, but it turns out they're pretty awesome. Okay, so I've totally screwed up my camera. I'm like hovering above things, but anyway, Hannah Fons, thank you so much. In fact, here, this is what I'm going to do. We are. We're just so lucky to have you. We're so lucky to have you when you come to the show.
It's a huge pleasure.
Well, yeah, you did good. What do you think, everybody? Did you get some good feedback, some good praise, some praise from Hannah? I think so. I think you did very, very well.
No, I came in. I was gonna, like, we were talking this morning. I'm like, I'm gonna go full on like Edna mode. You know, what's his name? Marc Jacobs on. Or not Marc Jacobs. Who the hell's the American the sportswear designer who's one of the judges on Project Runway?
Michael Kors. Michael Kors, yeah.
Like Kors. But there wasn't a clinker in the bunch. Everything was from the beginners to the deeply seasoned, you know, like lifelong quilters. Like, everything.
Right.
Just yeah.
Yeah. you know, beginners, veterans, or, you know, the experienced folks. It's all really great. I love it. Quilting is a democratic art. You can do it if you got a lot of skill. You can do it if you don't have as much experience, and it just always feels good, you know. And that's Hannah, and that's me. And Stephanie Cake, I don't have your picture up here, but you're a big part of this show tonight, to say the least. And thank you for helping the plane fly. And Robin, thank you so much for all the organization you did, sending out the form, all of that. Susanna, thank you for everything you do for the show. And I just love y'all so much. Thank you for watching Quilt Nerd, and come back on Saturday night. We'll have a regular show, quote unquote, with quilt history and some, you know, videos and all kinds of like great stuff. So yeah, Quilt Nerd on Parade wrapped up for the spring. Love ya. See you soon. Good job, everybody. Okay.